Hi everyone, very good morning to you all. Today we have Claire Bingley, Regional Manager, International Markets from the University of Melbourne, Australia, to give valuable insights of the university and many more valuable information, insights, programs, and opportunities available for international students. Many etc. Many details. So we will be having this valuable session with Claire, Claire Bingley from University of Melbourne. Claire, over to you.
Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here today and to have this opportunity to speak about biomedical sciences and health at the University of Melbourne. My office is located here in Melbourne at our Parkville campus. And it's an amazing campus to be a student or a staff member. I'll talk you through a little bit about our main teaching campus of Parkville and introduce you to the location of the university and where our students study their undergraduate programs as well as our postgraduate masters and PhD. So it's my job today to give you a little bit of information about what it might be like to be a student at the University of Melbourne, and also give you a bit of an idea about the types of study options and programs that are available to you. All right, let's begin. Okay, so a little bit about the University of Melbourne to start with. So the university is Australia's second oldest university, established in 1853. So we turn 171 this year. And as you may already know, or by looking at some of the pictures of the university, you'll see that some of the original buildings of the university have quite sort of a traditional and sandstone architecture. And this is because there weren't many universities in Australia 170 years ago. So our university, the campus, the architecture was inspired by the universities of Oxford and Cambridge. So you do see a lot of that beautiful sandstone architecture in some of the original buildings of the university. Some students often come on campus and say they feel like they're at Hogwarts. And I suppose that connection is made because those Harry Potter films from the books were actually filmed in and around Oxford and Cambridge universities. So that's where students get that sense of being at Hogwarts when they come on campus. The University of Melbourne is currently Australia's #1 university and number 14 in the world. The university is also ranked in the top 10 for graduate employability. So there are lots of different rankings that you can look at to compare and contrast universities. You can look at discipline rankings as well, and you can look at rankings that specifically look to compare universities on specific measures like graduate employability. So number 8 in the world for graduate employability. This means our students are highly sought after. Once they graduate and they're looking to start their career, employers really seek to employ University of Melbourne graduates. And it also means that they have the attributes that employers and industry partners are looking for. So not just the academic success, but our graduates are well-rounded, very connected to industry partners, and have also developed a whole range of soft skills alongside, the technical skills and knowledge that many of these degrees bring. Like the city of Melbourne and the country of Australia, the University of Melbourne is also very multicultural and diverse. So you can see a significant proportion of our students are international students, about 40%, and that group represents more than 150 countries. So very multicultural and diverse. It means that the classrooms, the people in the classrooms, bring with them lots of different cultural backgrounds and experiences. It also means that our students get access to try lots of different cultural activities and different types of food on campus. So our students do have a very rich international experience studying at the University of Melbourne. Okay, so you can see here in this picture that the city of Melbourne is in the top section of this picture. And then inside the big orange ring, that is the University of Melbourne's Parkville campus. And so this is where the vast majority of our students undertake their studies, both undergraduate degrees and postgraduate degrees. So the university's Parkville campus is about 8 to 10 minutes on public transport from the heart of Melbourne CBD. So public transport runs up both sides of the campus, the east and west sides of the campus. You could also walk the distance from the city to the campus, perhaps in about 15 or 20 minutes. You'll see to the west side of our campus, we also have the Melbourne Biomedical Precinct. And so this is a very special precinct. We're very lucky to be so close and having very strong affiliation and connections to the Melbourne Biomedical Precinct. Our students who study health and biomedical sciences do have the opportunity to undertake research and work with academics who are embedded in the Melbourne Biomedical Precinct. So less than 500 metres from our main teaching campus, you will see the Melbourne Biomedical Precinct. So it is the largest biomedical precinct in the Southern Hemisphere. And the medicine, dentistry and health science faculty is located within this precinct. So it is a highly concentrated area of sort of biomedical research, centres like the Brain Centre and Bio21, the Victorian Comprehensive Cancer Centre, as well as the major hospitals are located just to the west of the Parkville campus. So I'll have a bit of a closer look at the biomedical precinct. So you can see the Peter Doherty Institute for Infection and Immunity. And so this particular institute is named after one of our Nobel laureates, Peter Doherty. And his work, the Nobel Prize he received was for groundbreaking research in immunity and infection. And Professor Doherty still works at the Institute, and the Institute was a key part of the health, I suppose, the public health response to the global pandemic back in 2020. So in early 2020, when we started to see, an epidemic become a pandemic, and, different researchers and scientists were called upon to address and tackle some of these global challenges. The Peter Doherty Institute at the University of Melbourne were given the COVID-19 virus, and scientists were asked to sort of map and recreate and study the way the virus behaved in the human body. This data was shared with the World Health Organization, and it allowed scientists to start to create a vaccine, that was able to save hundreds and thousands of lives in the end. So crucial work being undertaken at the University of Melbourne, crucial research and scientific work. The university is very proud to have played such a significant role in tackling some of those grand challenges And the Institute also played a significant role in Australia's public health response. So informing government, um, on specific actions to take. A lot of the reporting and data that came out of the Peter Doherty Institute was very important in those years from 2020. You'll also see in the biomedical precinct, we have the Victorian Comprehensive Cancer Centre. So this centre brings together Australia's best cancer research, teaching and treatment institutions. So it's quite a new centre, only opened, I think, about 5 years ago. So a very, very new facility in the biomedical precinct. We also have the Melbourne Brain Centre, which is home to more than 700 of Australia's leading neuroscience researchers and teachers. The Bio21 Institute, which is a flagship multidisciplinary research facility, but with specialised focus in sort of medical, agricultural and environmental biotechnology and nanobiotechnology. You'll also see our Melbourne Medical Building there, the Walter and Eliza Institute of Medical Research, and then some of the major hospitals as well. So the Royal Melbourne Hospital, the Royal Children's Hospital, and the Royal Women's Hospital. So these are major leading hospitals that service a large portion of the Melbourne population. You'll also see in this picture at the top right-hand corner, the Western Edge Biosciences building. And this is a building that was opened in May 2019. And it's a learning environment that's been designed specifically to suit the biosciences and brings together a number of different disciplines from the Faculty of Medicine, Dentistry and Health Science, but also our agricultural and veterinary sciences and our Faculty of Science, bringing them together all under the one roof. So some very modern, very new facilities in this Melbourne Biomedical Precinct. And our students who study health and biomedical science at the university have access to this precinct during their time at Melbourne. So to give you a little bit of an idea about some of the study options that are available to you. So we do have about 16 different health science majors on offer at an undergraduate level. So for students who are finishing their high school studies and looking to study a bachelor's degree or an undergraduate degree, we do have the Bachelor of Biomedicine and the Bachelor of Science that have 15 or 16 health science majors. So you can see there that the bachelor's degrees at the University of Melbourne are 3 years in duration. And then students can often finish that 3 years and then potentially look for postgraduate studies, perhaps from 1.5 years up to 4 years. So we do have a whole range of Masters by Coursework programs and many of our professional qualifications, qualifications relating to medicine, dentistry, physiotherapy, optometry. The structure of those programs involves some undergraduate study, but also some postgraduate study. So if we have a little bit of a look now at the health science majors available at a bachelor's degree level, you can see that there are 16 majors available there. So everything from sort of neuroscience, immunology, biotechnology. We also have an engineering flavoured major in the bioengineering systems. You'll see psychology is also there, a very popular major across 3 of our bachelor's degrees. So all of these 16 majors are offered in our Bachelor of our Bachelor of Biomedicine. 15 of them are offered in our Bachelor of Science. So the one that is unique to the Bachelor of Biomedicine is the Public Health and Epidemiology, and that's a new major for this year. And then you'll see that, as I said, psychology being a very popular major for undergraduate students, This particular major is offered in both the Bachelor of Biomedicine as well as the Bachelor of Science, but also in our Humanities and Social Science program, the Bachelor of Arts. So those psychology subjects are exactly the same, and you can follow an accredited pathway if you're looking to become a clinical psychologist. But it will be that the subjects that are taken with the psychology, those ones might differ depending on which program you decide to enroll in. So a Bachelor of Biomedicine will be very focused on health science. A Bachelor of Science, you might have some additional majors to choose from, perhaps earth sciences, food science, animal science, computer science, engineering majors. And then in our Bachelor of Arts, as I said, that's the Humanities and Social Science program. So a lot of students consider studying their psychology with something like criminology, for example. So there are a few different options at an undergraduate level, but 16 majors on offer in health science and biomedical sciences. So you might consider that the Bachelor of Biomedicine may be sort of the most focused pathway, given that we have the 16 health science majors in that degree, and that the core subjects, the major or specialisation subjects, will come from that set of 16 majors, but also the electives will come from that area as well. So the Bachelor of Biomedicine is a degree that focuses just on health science, whereas comparatively, something like the Bachelor of Science, you could definitely choose 15 of those health science majors, but you might have a little bit more flexibility in terms of the electives that you could choose. So not all of the studies needs to be taken from those 16 majors. So the Bachelor of Biomedicine, potentially the Bachelor of Science, they can provide ideal preparation for a professional career in health. And so we do see a lot of our medicine students, our dentistry students, physiotherapy, optometry, students who are aiming for those professional careers. This is an ideal preparation by studying the bachelor's degree or an undergraduate degree. Our students can gain all of that fundamental knowledge in anatomy and physiology and biochemistry. So lay that really strong foundation in the health science, perhaps without needing to lock into a very specific career in medicine or dentistry straight out of high school. So this structure allows our students a little bit more time to taste and sample different majors within health science, and gives them a little bit more time to decide if they want to continue with that very specialised professional qualification. But all the while getting that excellent preparation, as I said, in the anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. So you can see on the screen now, we have an example of a course plan for the Bachelor of Biomedicine. So most undergraduate degrees at the University of Melbourne are structured in this way. So as I said earlier, all of our bachelor's degrees are 3 years in duration, and in each year you'll study 2 semesters. The equivalent sort of 24 subjects that you will have can be grouped into having a major or a specialisation, having electives, and then having breadth subjects. So your yellow subjects, as outlined on the slide here, would be from one of those 16 different specializations that we saw earlier. So genetics, immunology, physiology, neuroscience, perhaps one of those subjects. Then you would pick some elective subjects. So you can see the proportion of subjects relating to the major and the proportion of subjects relating to the elective group. There are far less elective subjects than there are subjects to do with your core or your major or specialisation. And then you'll also see the breadth subjects, so between 4 and 6 breadth subjects over the 3 years. Now, these breadth subjects are really fantastic, and it's great to see that we have these incorporated into our bachelor degrees. It is a requirement that our students complete at least 4, but up to 6 over the 3 years. And the breadth subjects allow our students to gain a multidisciplinary education, to be prompted to think about the world from lots of different perspectives. It also might prompt our students to think about building a complementary skill set, something that employers are looking for to make them, highly sought after when they graduate. So, an example of breadth that I will often give is our engineering students. So maybe a bioengineering systems major, getting those, technical skills and knowledge in the core, might think about, well, what other skills am I going to need once I go into the workforce? So maybe I'm going to need to manage big projects. So I might go and do some project management subjects in my breadth from the Faculty of Business and Economics. Or I might do some finance subjects or people management subjects. So breadth can be a really great way to build a complementary skill set that employers are looking for, and will make our graduates highly sought after at the point of graduation. So there are lots of different course plans like this on our website. So you can look at a similar course plan for the Bachelor of Science and the Bachelor of Arts, and you'll see a fairly similar structure in that there are certain subjects, perhaps 9 or 10 subjects related to the major or specialisation. There'll be elective subjects from the home faculty, and then the breadth subjects. And just to reiterate, those breadth subjects do come from outside of the home faculty. So those ones in blue as part of this course plan, they won't be from the medicine, dentistry and health science faculty. They could come from arts, design, they could come from law, business, education. So quite a huge range of choice for breadth. And they don't all need to be in the same area either. You can mix and match the breadth subjects depending on what you're interested in. So, as I said, our students study for 3 years in a bachelor's degree. So having a look perhaps at the Bachelor of Biomedicine in this example, there are lots of different programs that our students follow on with after their undergraduate study. So it is quite popular for our students to continue after the 3 years into postgraduate studies. I think about 70% of our students do continue with further study. If you scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner of this slide, it will take you to a page that gives a little bit more information about the graduate outcomes. So you can see for health-related programs, the types of programs that our biomedicine graduates go into. But you can also see there that there's a report that illustrates all of the University of Melbourne programs that our biomedicine graduates move through into. So you can see that, there is a Master of Engineering, for example, so the Juris Doctor, which is our law program. So the vast majority of students do go through into a health-related master's program, but some do go into other programs, often other faculties at the University of Melbourne. Speaking of graduate options, there are lots and lots of master's programs, in lots of different areas across the medicine, dentistry and health science faculty. Some popular ones for students from Sri Lanka include speech pathology, biomedical science, medicine, nursing, public health and social work. So these programs are probably between 1.5 years and 4 years in duration. And these are coursework programs. Some of them may have a component of a research embedded into them. And all of them will have some sort of clinical placement or internship options. So internships and clinical placement is obviously a key part of the teaching and learning environment at the University of Melbourne. So most of those postgraduate programs include significant clinical placement. For our Doctor of Medicine, 3 out of the 4 years of the Doctor of Medicine are spent in a clinical setting. So really great to see that our students are given plenty of opportunity to apply their knowledge and skills into that practical setting and helping them to shape the direction that they want to go in with a specialisation or perhaps medical research or into a professional career. The University of Melbourne does also have PhD programs in this faculty. The University of Melbourne is quite famous for having world-class researchers and experts who are leading in their respective fields. So PhD is an option at the University of Melbourne. It can be quite competitive to gain a PhD place. So we usually assess academic merit. So we're looking for quite competitive academic scores. Potentially first-class honours would be the sort of academic requirement that would be looking at, and definitely for scholarship, first-class honours is the requirement there. Generally, in terms of research, to be a successful PhD candidate, you're required to perhaps align your research interest area with current projects at the University of Melbourne, or to have the endorsement of a prospective supervisor. So you can't be guaranteed a place as a PhD candidate just based on academic merit. Your research proposal or research interest areas definitely have to align with current research projects at the university or the interest areas of our academic staff and researchers at the university. It's not all just academic hard work at the University of Melbourne. We definitely encourage our students to get involved in lots of extracurricular activities and enrich their studies. And I think employers really value, the students that have perhaps volunteered, taken on roles of leadership, been able to show that they can work in teams, perhaps had an international experience studying abroad, and obviously having some of that clinical and research experience can often be key and really valued from prospective employers. So the extracurricular activities at the University of Melbourne, I think we have nearly 250 clubs and societies. For medicine, dentistry and health science, they have 26 of their own clubs and societies. Some examples of those clubs and societies are illustrated here with the Biomedicine Student Society and the Global Health Youth Connect Club as well. But as I said, there's lots of opportunities for volunteering and research, undertaking research in some of our facilities as well. And just wanted to share a success story with you. One of our student ambassadors from the last few years, Roisin. I met Roisin when she was studying at Gateway College in Colombo, and she was finishing her GCSE A-levels, and she was interested in studying in health science. She knew that she was passionate about that and really interested in the field, but perhaps not 100% set on a professional career at that time, being a 17 or 18-year-old. So she really did want to have some time to gather more information, taste and sample different subject areas. So she came into the 3-year Bachelor of Biomedicine. She lived on campus at one of our residential colleges, Newman College. She was very, very involved in the extracurricular activities and student life. So she did lots and lots of volunteering, but also took opportunities to undertake that research. At one point, she wasn't sure whether she wanted to do honours and PhD and perhaps go into biomedical research. But through that research, which she found really interesting, she decided perhaps to try a different pathway, and she applied for both the Doctor of Medicine and the Doctor of Dental Surgery, receiving offers for both programs, which is extremely hard to do, but very clever, very dedicated student. Roisin ended up studying the Doctor of Dental Surgery for 4 years and has just started her graduate role working at Bass Coast Health here in regional Victoria. So just, introducing Roisin to you, a real success story, but someone who really sort of thought they were interested in health, but she really wasn't sure which professional qualification she wanted to pursue. And so, taking this model of great preparation in the bachelor's degree with all of that anatomy and physiology, and then having all of those experiences along the way, she ended up in the Doctor of Dental Surgery, and she was able to make a really well-educated decision about that specialisation, starting that Doctor of Dental Surgery at the age of about 21. So yes, it's great to see those success stories. I think that's about it for me, but we'll see if there are any questions, but I will just put my contact details up on the screen. You're more than welcome to email me to request a one-on-one consultation. We definitely recommend that you download our course guides on our website, follow us on social media. And of course, if you happen to be traveling to Melbourne, please come and visit us. We offer campus tours twice a week, so you'll be able to see some of the amazing facilities we've covered today. Thank you so much for having me. Are there any questions?
We haven't received anything yet. No, I haven't received any, Claire.
No problems.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Anyway,
yes.
yeah, so thank you very much. So I would like to conclude the session today. As we conclude our session today, I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Claire Bingley for sharing her valuable insights into the University of Melbourne's offering and opportunities for international students. So Claire's expertise and passion for education have undoubtedly shed light on the university's commitment to academic excellence, innovation, and global engagement. So for our audience, I encourage you to explore further the enriching possibilities that the University of Melbourne has to offer, whether you are considering pursuing undergraduate studies, postgraduate research, or professional development. The university stands as a beacon of learning and discovery in the heart of Australia. So thank you once again to Claire Bingley for her illuminating presentation, and to all our attendees for participation and interest. Thank you very much, Claire, for your time and the valuable information given.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Have a good